This might be my favorite werewolf movie ever. Let's do it. Soldiers opens up with this couple camping in the middle of the woods in Scotland. We see the woman give the man this silver letter opener as a present. But then later that night, we see the woman be dragged out of the tent and violently offed by an unseen assailant. The man presumably is offed as well. Sometime later, we see this soldier named Cooper who is running through the woods. It turns out that he's training to join the Special Forces unit. The sergeant of this unit tries to get Cooper to shoot a dog, which he refuses to do, and therefore he's not allowed in the unit. So Cooper ends up being returned to his own unit by this guy, Captain Ryan. So 4 weeks go by, and we see this troop of 6 British soldiers, including Cooper and that sergeant, be dropped in this area in the woods in Scotland. And they are told that they are here for a training exercise. But the next morning, they find remains from another unit, as well as Captain Ryan, who is barely clinging on to life. And he tells them that he is the only survivor of his platoon, and he makes this like cryptic reference to being attacked by something. And then the troop is attacked by unseen assailants. Now, we, the audience, are getting small glimpses of these assailants, and we're seeing that they're not really human. Now, as they're retreating, one of the soldiers gets impaled by a tree and dies. And the sergeant is attacked and somehow survives, even though his guts are quite literally physically hanging out of his body. And Cooper comes to get him and is like, just put him back in. Okay. So them and the other soldiers are chased to this road, and a car is driving by which stops to pick them up, and it turns out it's this woman named Megan. Megan takes them to this remote house in the woods and is like, some family lives here, but they're not here. So Cooper and Sergeant Wells make it to the house along with the other soldiers, Spoon, Joe, and Terry. And they brought Captain Ryan as well. It gets dark out when suddenly the place is attacked. They are surrounded. They all try to get to Megan's truck, but they discover that it has been destroyed. So Megan tells them, like, we were attacked by fucking werewolves, but some of them still don't believe her until the werewolves fully attack and we see them full body. So a shootout happens. We see these bitches in all their glory. So the werewolves back off and they think they're all good until one of them straight up comes through the window and abducts Terry, one of the soldiers. So the remaining members of the troop realize that they are running short on ammo. So they're like, if they attack again, we will not survive. So they come up with a plan where Spoon is going to create a diversion while Joe runs to the shed where there is another truck. And he knows how to hotwire so he can get it out and drive them to safety. And it works. Just kidding. Joe gets the truck to run and drives up to the house, but then he is killed by a werewolf that was hiding in the back seat. Always check your back seat, kids. So it's now Cooper, Sergeant Wells, Spoon, and Megan, and they turn on Captain Ryan and start interrogating him. Ryan admits that his troop was there as part of this government plan to capture a werewolf, and Cooper and Sergeant Wells' platoon was going to be used as bait. That's why they were just dropped there. So Wells and Cooper are fucking pissed, and they go to attack Ryan, when suddenly he starts transforming into a werewolf because he was bitten. And as he starts transforming, he just fucks off into the woods. He gets the fuck out of Dodge. So Megan tells the rest of the soldiers, I think the werewolves are hiding in the shed. We should blow it up. And they're like, bet, great idea, Meg. So they do that and they come back inside and Megan's like, hee hee. And Megan's like, there were no werewolves in the barn. And by the way, I unlocked the back door because I'm a werewolf and so is my whole family and we're the ones that live in this house. The fucking betrayal. So she starts to transform, but Wells is like, nah, fuck that, and shoots her in the head. So Cooper and Sergeant Wells run upstairs as the werewolves come in the unlocked door. Spoon gets cornered by one of the werewolves downstairs in the kitchen. This really intense fight occurs between Spoon and the werewolf, and Spoon gets the upper hand and like stabs the fuck out of this thing, and he's about to win when a second werewolf shows up. Like, that is not a fair fight, brother. Second werewolf grabs Spoon, and Spoon's last words are, I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp, and he spits in his face before the werewolf eats him. The werewolves go upstairs and are breaking down the door that Sergeant Wells and Cooper are behind, and they decide to shoot through the floor, which makes them drop into the kitchen. Sergeant Wells realizes that he is slowly transforming into a werewolf himself. So he orders Cooper to get into the cellar, and he also gives him this roll of film. Because earlier when they were being attacked, they used this camera flash to stun the werewolves, so they have them on camera. So the werewolves get into the kitchen and are approaching Wells, who is slowly transforming. But before he does, he manages to cut a gas line and then blow up the whole fucking house with the stove. So he sacrifices himself and takes all these fucking werewolves with them. So Cooper made it out. He thinks he's good. Of course, it's not over yet, because remember Captain Ryan? Yeah, he's now full werewolf. So he attacks Cooper and a fight ensues between the two of them, but Cooper has noticed that there are all these bodies in the basement, 2 of them being the bodies of the campers that we saw in the beginning, and he finds the silver letter opener. He uses it to stab the werewolf in the heart and then shoots it and its head explodes. Cooper, along with Megan's dog who survived, emerge from the cellar having lived. They beat him. The final shot we get as the credits roll is of this tabloid, and we see the title Werewolves Ate My Platoon with pictures that Cooper gave them from the camera. And it's basically making fun of him, so nobody fucking believes him.